It's the Frequently Asked Questions podcast.
Yes.
Fuzzy and Quincy. Oh man, today this is crazy. Grammys, LA.
Nah, super LA, super producer, music director,
teacher,
philanthropist.
Comes from a lineage of music. I mean,
like he's deep in the soil of hip hop, R&B culture.
Yeah,
and gospel. We'll say gospel too.
We have Larrance Dopson here.
Rance
1500.
1500 and nothing. We just gonna throw it up real quick.
Yeah, here. Yeah, this the gang sign. 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Where does that come from? 1500 or nothing?
We were a church band playing. We were like the tightest niggas at church, right? And when we were like 14, 15 years old, the cool thing about the band is we switched instruments, so everybody could play everything. So that's what kind of like made us stand out. We was doing this church gig for Bobby Valentino a long time ago. And,
wait, a church gig for Bobby Valentino?
Yeah, we was playing that first day of me, and he did like he came to Seattle one time and did like a church concert with us. Yep.
Was he Bobby Valentino at the time?
He almost.
Okay.
So like maybe like a month after that, that's when the Slow Down song came on. And then, but we was doing a bunch of free rehearsals and stuff for him, and it got to a point to where, you know, that's my dog, but he was bringing, you know, paying for girls' lunches and wearing Rolexes, and we still kind of broke.
Right.
Him and my homie Poon was like, yo, man, we need y'all for the showcase for Def Jam. How much y'all gonna charge? I was like, look, nigga, yeah, it was $1,500 a net. We got a 5-piece band, $300 a pop.
Wow.
And he was like, all right, well, what y'all gonna call yourself? Looking like, shit, $1,500 or nothing, man.
So that's how it started?
That's how it started.
Wow.
All of us, man.
Shout out to Poon, man.
Shout out to Poon, man. Nah, it's just a real family, you know. It's like the mob.
Listen, so he just said something like, Rance, how many instruments do you play, bro? Like, I went to the studio. I go to the studio quite often to check on the guys.
Yeah.
And one day we were in the studio, we were working on something, and we're Roddy Ricch. Mm-hmm. And they just start jumping on each other's instruments. Like,
yeah, it's
nutty. Like, I was like, I thought you played keys. Like, no, I play drums and
if you're a real musician, if you're a real producer, you know how to be everything. You can't be a songwriter and not a producer because there's a marriage. There's like husband and wife. You got to know what the wife can do.
Right.
So it's really just about when you know the language of music and understand. It's even like a whole nother thing of like a number system where I could call out and say, yeah, 1, 3, 5, 7. And somebody that knows music knows exactly what I'm talking about if they know what key I'm in. So,
but when I usually see you in the studio, you are always on keys or arranging or something, right? Mm-hmm. But when I see you live, he's a percussionist.
Yeah, so
and like Rance will be clowning on the percussion, just having fun. Like, I've never seen anybody that happy play.
Well, I've been playing keys my whole life, and then you know you can only have so many keyboard players at a show. So I wanted to give opportunities to other people, like Quentin and Kyrie, and you know me and Mars been holding it down forever. So now it's time to, you know, be free. And I love playing drums and percussion because I could do anything. Like all I'm doing is like if I'm doing percussion for Jay-Z, all I get to do is listen to his raps and accent on what I feel like.
Really?
Yeah. And then it's like I'm out of the way, but I can come in whenever because I'm a producer. You got to realize we're a band that's full of producers where we understand the art of space, which means your song will sound like the song and even a little better just because we're producers.
So you grew up in the church.
Yeah.
You was so like your earliest memory of picking up.
My earliest memory is falling off the drums when I couldn't kick my damn foot
on the kick drum.
That's crazy.
Hit the kick drum pedal.
Yeah.
And I know you know your dad works with you.
Pops.
Pops.
Your dad was in the group back in the day.
Oh yeah, my dad was cracking. The Fire Wagers. He came out here from Chicago to pursue his dreams.
So your family is from Chicago?
Yeah, my whole family's from Chicago. Me and my sister, Alex, is the only one that's born here.
Got
so
it.
we got lucky because I probably would have been gangbang.
GD now.
I would have been a vice lord. No,
vice lord, okay.
I got family GD and vice lord.
Okay,
it's a lot.
It's a lot going on.
My whole family.
So but you run deep in Chicago roots.
Oh man, that's
because I met a couple of your family or cousins out here before from Chicago.
Really but you see that a lot. Like I know from Kendrick, he's like his family moved from Chicago. It seems like that was like a natural migration to LA.
Yeah, real time.
Shout out to the Shy. Shout out to No ID.
Shout town, man.
Yeah. So who were some of the producers like in hip hop when you were younger? Like, all right, I think I can do that.
I mean, we was fortunate to be able to be taught by some of my favorite producers. You know, like shout out to Terrace Martin. That's a long story how I met him. We'll talk about that.
I mean, you were Terrace Martin's driver?
Yeah, I was his driver. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy, bro.
Terrace had some legal issues and he couldn't drive.
Okay.
And I was his driver, man, and he used to take me to
Sessions
Snoop House and Battle Cat House, and he was just taking me around and teaching me the game. I remember I seen him make a $15,000 check. I seen it at church, and he made the beat like 4 days ago, and I was at his house, and I was like, okay. So I made my final decision of what I wanted to do.
So that kind of opens you up to like, oh, I can do this.
Oh, when if church Terrace niggas Martin can make this much money and play at church, oh, I needed that. That was $15,000, and he still made a good $3,000 on the Sunday.
Wow.
So you know, I was into that.
So that sparked it for you. Yeah. And your of course your mom and dad supported you.
I knew that what I wanted to do anyway, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. And
when
I first seen Terrace with an MPC and seeing him, you know, producing for Snoop Dogg, I'm going with him to Goldilocks house in the 20s in his garage with 20 gangbangers, and Terrace is just focused still, and you got 100 niggas asking you for beats, and he know how to control the room.
But you guys, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a common thread here. Like, some of the best producers are from church musicians, right? And let's talk about your first placement. Like, when did you figure out, like, I can do this? Like, who was your first placement?
Damn, my first placement? It was probably Bobby Valentino album. That was the first.
That was like 05?
Gangsta Love. The song called Gangsta Love. Me, Martin Swift. Yeah, but after that, we couldn't get a catch or break. We didn't get no respect until we got our first placement. As soon as I had that gold plaque, bro, then people listened to your beats. And then and then right after that, Snoop put us on Welcome to the Church. Remember the Welcome to the Church?
Yeah, it was all the mixtapes. Yeah.
James, the only song we did a song called Remember Me with Teddy Riley, and Snoop loved this song so much, it was the only song that he wasn't on. And James was just singing. He just put on there, and that was the single.
Really?
It's called I Know You Remember Me. Everybody still loves the song. It's still one of my favorite songs.
But you guys, at that point, you like, I'm on to something, or
we never look back.
Yeah,
we never look back, bro. We're just always trying to do something. You know, as a musician, you got to realize that our job, we don't know when we get paid.
That's crazy.
Like right now, you know, until you get your businesses set up, and we really make money off of thin air, off of thought. Right now, I could think of something, create something, make some noise, record it, sell it for $1 million, which is nuts. Or could record it and you'll never hear it just because. You know what I mean? It's like the lottery, man. But when you believe in yourself and when you know the rules, to break the rules and the language.
Rules? Please tell it.
Tell our listeners, our viewers.
Rules to hits or rules to life.
Yeah, because Rance, if you follow Rance on Instagram, which you should, like Rance will be dropping. You'll see him in the studio, inspiration. It's not floss, it's all inspiration to me, right? But then he'll give you some bars on some life quotes or some kind of like some very inspirational words of encouragement for the day. There's like there's a lot of people that follow us that are inspiring songwriters, artists, or producers. Like, what are some of those key things that you would tell somebody starting off? Because you do have an academy. We'll talk about that later.
I would first say, be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. That's the first number one rule. We'll think it's tight and it's not. You know what I mean? Right. It's a feeling where you'll know. Another thing is, when it comes to writer's block for all you writers, you only get writer's block when you're lying.
Wow, that's a bar.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it works for me. I mean, you could say something, but would I believe you? Could you tell?
So you're not being truthful.
You're not being truthful. How could I connect? How would I believe you? So you're probably lying. Because if it's the truth, we'll feel that shit. And we'll know that shit, you know?
That's a bar.
That's
a bar.
It's a bunch of shit, man.
Rance,
we always talk about, I got this from James. I got a lot of shit from James. That's my bro. But he always say 40 words or less.
Who's this?
James. That's
James
like
Fauntleroy.
Fauntleroy Easy. Every time when I work with artists, I'll challenge them and say, hey, let's write a song with 40 or 50 words or less. I did it with Coil Ray. I just did it with Sweet. I did it with everybody. Like, it's a challenge.
No, break that down.
Break that down, because I've been in the studio when he's asked somebody 40 words or less, and you have a great comparison of an artist that we interviewed on FAQ.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about, most writers are selfish. They just want to talk for a long time. But it's like, I learned, shout out to Big Bob too, when it comes to branding, because branding and understanding psychology and understanding human behavior and understanding all these things go along with making hits.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So even, I don't know, where do I start? All right, 40 words or less. The reason why I say do 40 words or less, because it forces you to write songs for the general masses.
Right.
You know, because you got to write songs for people that don't speak English overseas. So it's a secret. It's either staccato or legato. Staccato is choppy. So that's when I say the rule, if I can't play it with one hand on the keyboard, it's not a hit. Which means if you're doing too much or singing too many runs, if I can't play on the keyboard, you're selfish as fuck and you're not thinking about human behavior, because a human, we only got one throat. If you can't whistle it, it's not a hit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like common sense things that you got to really pay attention to. But it's the fine line of keeping it simple, but then having some swag. So I'll usually tell writers, write a song. The first 8 bars is if you can do whatever you want. It's your song. The first line got to catch my attention. It should have some space.
Right.
It's a conversation. That second 8 bars, write as if you're writing it with your audience. So that second 8 bars is my part. So my part better be simple as fuck. It better have some space. Maybe you should tell me something to do. It could be a command. It could be all these things for human behavior that makes people want to love your song. Because every 8 bars we get bored. Right. Every time. Every 8 bars in the song we get bored. So it's either, if you're a real producer, you'll know there's things you got to take out, put in to make certain songs believable, so you don't get bored every 8 bars. So it's really like some
Then the phrase that pays.
Yeah, some human behavior shit.
So give the example of Black Eyed Peas.
All right, staccato, right? So I could use this one finger, and if I was on the piano, I could say, I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. People overseas only understand one word syllables.
Hit record. Yeah. Hit record. Feel me? Hit record.
Like, so it's the marriage of one word syllables and the marriage of legato. Legato is when you hold your notes for a long time. That's
all my life. I've been grinding all my life.
The nigga said life for 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, that's a human behavior hit, because we're trying to learn your song while you're trying to sing it too. So it's like
simple works.
Big Bob told me about the dude named Peter Drucker. The whole objective of a business is to create and keep a customer. So if you're writing a song and if you're 8 bars, you don't have the same 8-bar cadence or melody as the one before, how the fuck can I remember your song? How am I trying to get business? Right. How are you trying to make money?
So when did you understand that, and when did you implement that? Like, okay, I got that. Boom.
Experience, man. I got my first hit when I was like 17, and my last one last year. So
right.
I've.
What was your first hit and your last hit?
Ooh, shoot. Maybe Show What You Got.
Jay-Z,
maybe Show What You Got, and then
produced by Just Blaze, and you guys were on. Let's play that song, because that's one of my favorite. It was the drummer Bam.
Yeah, shout out to Bam.
Bam is a big dude, but that's him playing live on Show Me What You Got. Yeah. If you go on YouTube, you can see him playing. Yeah.
We were super young, bro. We were kids, and we got hooked up with Just Blaze, and Just Blaze. Shout out to Big Bro, man. He just trusted us.
Yeah, like, how did Just Blaze, like...
I met him one time at Can-Am. That's when he had all his jewelry on. He had the dreadlocks. He was just swimming in diamonds. And he was just asking us questions. He's like, yeah, y'all play? And, me and Mars...
Of course.
Don't put us in a studio with knobs and boards and shit. We could just fuck with. So he literally started a beat, went in there and played video games, and came back. And he was fucking with it, and then he started getting engaged. Like, no, take that out, do that, and then from there, we just gelled. Every time he came to LA, he called me. Yo, I need, even we did Show Me What You Got and a song called Why You Hate the Game, which is on Game's album with Marsha and Nas, and he gave us a shout out. It was like a 7-minute song. We had our choir come. It was like,
because it changes up at the end.
Whenever he come to LA, he called me, and I got a whole army full of the tightest niggas alive. That's experts on certain things. So you just trust me. And
so let me ask you a question. So
hold on. But what was the last hit? You said that was the first hit.
The last one probably Roddy the Box. Yeah. Or LMA or
LMA Boot Up.
Probably Box Boot Up.
I think we've heard of those songs.
It's nothing. But I was saying
there's more, but
But I was asking, like, since you guys did Show Me What You Got, is that how the relationship with Jay-Z started?
It's so funny. Jay-Z gave us a shout out and didn't know who he was. It took me like 10 times for Jay-Z to know who he was. That's the part where I try to tell our students, like, trust your timing and not, like one time I walked up to Jay-Z when I didn't trust my timing at a award show. This one we just did Show Me What You Got. I seen him like, hey Jay, yeah, we did Just Show Me What You Got with Just Blaze. He said, congratulations. That nigga kept walking.
It kept it moving.
I'm like, yes, I get it though.
He said congratulations.
But then it took so many times for him just to keep seeing us around, keep hearing about us, and it got to the point where he called for us. Like, yo, Guru, I need 1,500. And then from there, it was a wrap. From us doing live shit with him to us, doing what it feels like with him, Nip from the Black Messiah movie. That was a special moment for us too, man. That was a 7-minute song where I don't even know if y'all know that we had so many celebrities and superstars on that song.
What song is this again?
What It Feels Like.
With Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle and Jay.
I got a 7-minute version that's not out that got everybody from her, Marsha Ambrosius, James, Jay Black, Ty Dolla $ign, Ant Clemens, Alex, my sister. I mean, I'll play it for y'all.
Please.
It's crazy.
But he plays for it's like 4 minutes of the song. You'll get a whiff of, some of them, but it was a longer song, and it was like, it's an anthem.
And Nipsey was, I remember.
What It Feels Like, yeah.
I remember being in Nipsey's studio in Burbank. Remember, he had a studio in Burbank, right? And this was after he had did the whole, buying his album for, was it $100?
Oh, yeah, the mixtape.
And he showed me, like, when that Rock Nation or when Jay-Z's Deposit hit, he's like, man, Jay-Z just bought, I forgot, it was like
10,000.
10,000, yeah. He bought 10,000 albums, and he's like, yo, Fuzz, like, this dude really, like.
There were 100 albums, and he gave him 10,000.
Yeah, he gave him $10,000, but he was like, yo, like, he showed, then, I remember the conversation with Nipsey was like, it was off a theory. Off you was telling me about the guy, the book, and
Burger, Jonah Burger.
Right.
Jonah Burger.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, my conversation with Nipsey would always be on that kind of stuff, but I remember being in that moment. He showed me like, no, this is the proof, dude. Like, he really kicked in.
Man, hey, I'll never forget it was one time Nip told me one secret that just stuck with me forever. He was just like, man, he's like, I don't really care about 10,000 fans. I want to focus on my core audience. And I'm just like, he was like, think about it. Like, you got 10,000 fans that can pay $1,000 a year. If you can get them to pay $1,000 a year, that's $10 million. Damn. I said, what? I was like, damn. So
that is
he's
true.
Like, literally, all I could do is sell shirts this month, sell something else this month, and then it adds up, and then you figure out a cool way to kind of like get in the hearts and the minds of the consumer in certain ways to make them spend $1,000.
Because $1,000,
but that's $10 million fucking dollars.
That's crazy.
All with 10,000 fans, I got more than 10,000 followers.
Right.
Everybody got more than 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
So if you could really put that into some
perspective.
Yeah, it could change the trajectory of your life.
Damn.
So,
fast.
Rance, break down 1,500 the core of who is in the band or the ensemble, because I know there's some moving pieces, but pretty much like, who is a part of 1,500?
We got to start from the ground roots, bro.
Yeah, let's start from the giddy
like
up.
the family, and I hope I can't.
And it's just your mic.
It's literally the family. It started with so we got Bam, Uncle Chuck, you got Alex, Jay Black, James, Mars, there's, I mean, Brody, the Brody the Great, I mean, but you got to realize everybody from 1500 is someone I literally picked in my life.
Got it.
And in different times, I went to elementary school at Chuck's. I mean, Chuck was at 24th Street. I lived.
You and Chuck went to school together?
At that time, I lived in the Bloods. He lived in the Crips when I was young, and they was chasing him, and it was like we went through a lot, bro. Even just trying to get to his house to play instruments and stuff like that. So, yeah. So me and Chuck was over the phone playing instruments over the phone when we was kids. So we started off we gonna do this, and we just wanted to pick everybody in our band that just wasn't no busters, man. That was really talented, that really cared about the detail in their art and really knew the rules, but still could go to the club and have some swag on them,
Dang.
Man, I like how you say the rules, because you keep going back to the rules. There's rules to life, and there's rules to, like you said, making hits. There's so many people that you work with. Like, when do you feel, like you said, you come up to Jay-Z the first time, he's like, congratulations. Like, when do things start to change and you guys become, is it a song that you say?
Every day, bro, we take the stairs. We don't take the elevator. So every day is a balance, some fucked up shit that happens.
Yeah.
There's some amazing shit that happens. As long as you could just understand that and go up the stairs, then just keep going up the stairs. Small steps. Success is a bunch of small steps. It just makes it look like you're doing a bunch of cool shit at one time, but you're not. It's just a bunch of old shit I already did.
Right.
And small steps that I'm taking right now. You know?
Man, how do you guys go from, we talked to, I don't know when this is playing, but we talked to James. He said the first time y'all met, it was like a shootout.
Oh, 1500 is like, we're all from the hood, man.
Yeah.
Like everybody, Brody, if we from Compton, he got his set on the stomach and our 1500 on the stomach. You know what I mean? So it's like we are a bunch of.
But play with Bruno Mars.
Yeah, but right hits for Bruno in the deal. Right. You know, you got to understand that we grew up in LA. In LA for real. So we had to deal with all the crazy things any normal person had to deal with when it came to gang banging, getting banged on, and going to certain churches, but knowing what hood church you going in. It's like you gotta really understand the rules, even street rules. It's important, man. But the whole crew is, the thing about 1500 is we all love God and we all love family, and we really take our music serious. Yeah. For real. Like, even being around 1500 made me step my game up. I had to learn every key. I had to learn how to play all these songs with my eyes closed just to be able to, be at a Lupe Fiasco concert and put a keyboard on my head. Because Mars is going to, he's going to play it with his feet, or he going to try, So, Mars is turnt. We going up. So, it's like, when we on stage together, it's like the Power Rangers, bro. Then we're in the studio together. It's like X-Men. So but everybody individually they really know a lot of the rules to break them, to make new ones.
Got it.
Yeah, like I'm hearing that, even with Victory Lap, with Nipsey, you've known Nipsey since, y'all grew up together.
Yeah.
It took y'all 7-8 years to make that album?
Bro, 9, maybe.
9 years.
Maybe 9. Yeah. Bro, I got footage of Fuzzy when Fuzzy came to our studio in the hood in Inglewood, where Nip always used to call Fuzzy and get advice and play him stuff and see what he like. Bro, I literally have the footage. I got to give it to you. It's classic footage of us. Literally, we got the whiteboard out. We going through the songs and we telling, and Fuzzy giving us advice on what we should do. And it was like, this was a long going process, man. Like, even Real Big was 9 years ago. That was the first song on Victory Lap. And, so it took a process, but like I said, Nipsey takes the stairs too. Everything that we've done from our childhood, from him gangbanging to being the most influential artist in the world, it was the stairs. He learned. These are books. These are life. These are experience. All this offers experience.
Have you seen any artists that have that kind of patience?
No, not really. Most artists doesn't understand branding.
Got it.
And that's the difference between, shout out to Big Bob, man. Big Bob was teaching me and Nip and a lot of other people that's in this business about about branding and how to get in the hearts and the minds of the consumer, and it's so many things people don't understand, and it's like 10 people that people should just study that run the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that where you can understand their thinking so you can see how to do yours for the good.
Who are you studying? Who are those 10 people to you?
Ooh, I don't know.
See, you don't want to give out the songs.
That's the secret.
No. I mean, because the thing is, like, certain people that I'm studying now, I couldn't tell you in the beginning because you wouldn't understand the steps.
Got it.
You know, like, there's somebody that I'm studying right now that's fucking evil. But the reason you study him, because you got to understand the good and the bad to understand how to do it for the good. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that like psychologists and stuff like that that understand all levels of how a human thinks. So we're products of God, so we got to take that and flip it and use it for good, and that's why we're doing stuff like even the news, it's terrible.
Bro.
So we're doing something called the good news, where I'm trying to rebrand and retrain people how to just think about good stuff and have all our celebrities talking about all the great stuff that's happening, and that's a part of the psychology is re-brainwashing all of us because we're programmed.
No, it's funny.
It's really a program.
It's funny you say that. I used to work on the news for like 6 years, and when I left, I can't watch the news because I know the game behind the news. Yeah, I understand. So
okay, yeah, you already know. Then we'll have a whole nother conversation after this.
Right.
But the people the people behind the news and stuff like that, those are some of the people that you should study so you can understand how do you get the masses' attention to focus on God.
Yeah.
Other than the fucked up shit.
Yeah. I want to stay on Nipsey real quick. One time, you guys called me to come to Paramount Studios when Mixed by Ali was mixing the album.
My dog, he's the best. That's my nigga.
And at certain times, there's certain things, that certain songs I hear that is a personal, I'm really attached to, like Rap Niggas, y'all. He was mixing it. Mm-hmm. You were there, and I just remember Nipsey they were going back and forth with the laptop, the big speakers, going to this mix, right? So fast forward, I get to the Staples Center for Nip's service. You guys are the band playing for Nip. Like, did you guys have what was that moment at the funeral, dude? Like, because I'm like, damn, like, that's Rance, Mars, Battle Cat, like, they were all in the studio. You know, at one point they was in studio working. Now you at this dude's ceremony. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't listen to Right Hand of God the same. Like, I came in this morning bumping it. Not think about the service about every time I hear Right Hand of God.
Bro,
like that song means something totally different.
I'll tell you about that too. But that's, I mean, but that was terrible, bro. That was probably one of the worst moments of my life. And also realizing that, like, we as a band, we went through a lot. We didn't went through, those deaths from my mom and our drummer passing away 2 years ago.
Los.
And he played for Los the Great. He played for Jay Ross. I mean, everybody we played with in the last 7-8 years. So. Then right after that, we just did a show with Nip for his album release, and then Carlos passed, and then Nip passed. Wow. So I'm looking at videos and editing videos, and I'm looking at both of them not here. So it's crazy, man. That's just it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah.
Did it make? I'm from Philly, so anytime something, traumatic happens, I'm like, man, I gotta kind of stay away. Does it give you that kind of feeling? Like,
we're leaders, we can't. We got a responsibility for the people. Nipsey did too. That's what he was here for. Yeah, we all knew that we had a responsibility to get people to their higher self throughout, regardless if you gangbang or not. That gets people attention. Literally. Like, me and Nip used to talk about, like, how amazing God is, just us to be able to experience how we live and be able to wear jewelry and experience just all this hood stuff and survive and be trusted with our people. But knowing at the end of the day that we're just building a trust from them just to teach them how to get to their higher self. Yeah. And just to talk to them about God and let them know, y'all think this is magic? Y'all think this is something special? Like, nah, it's God. Yeah. And it's easy. You know, and you can have a bunch of money doing it. You just don't be a bitch ass nigga. You know? Like,
how can one not be a bitch ass nigga? Can you please?
The bitch ass nigga to me is, first of all, someone that's like selfish. That's either you're a giver or you're a taker. Takers are bitch ass niggas. Because if you give, you're going to get something anyway from somebody else, you know? I get all my blessings through bitch ass niggas. So I understand I have to deal with that. That's a part of the steps. Bitch ass niggas are the negative part of the steps.
Got it.
The people you got to deal with. So you can't get past it, but it's about understanding, you know, everyone's psyche that you meet and knowing how to talk to them, how to deal with them. If you talking to a nigga that's in 6th grade in their mind, don't argue with them. Just give them some candy. Give them some weed. You know, make them happy. Because at the end of the day, it's always about, it's one of the things I learned from Bob in the branding law. It's always about favorable publicity. You can always have to have other people talking about you. That's why businesses fails, because a lot of, even for labels, they'll say, yo, tell your artist, hey, to say my album is tight, go buy my album. That's how you kill your brand. That's like the number one rule how to kill your brand. It's favor publicity. How do you get favor publicity? That's telling, how do you get other people to say that this show is tight, or whatever I'm doing is tight? And it's a secret to that, disruptive innovation. A lot of people abuse this word, but Clayton Christensen created it. He's one of the coldest people a lot. I mean, he just passed last year, but he's one of the coldest minds ever. But it's just understanding human behavior, bro. It all comes down to human behavior and being nice to people and giving people a great experience, because that's what a brand is. It's when two people have an experience. Right. And you can't be a brand if it's not a good experience.
Yeah. What books are you reading? Because you're definitely reading. Like, I
don't even know when he has time to read, though.
In a car.
So you audio?
I mean, I read in the car. I do audiobooks, read. I talk to a lot of people that's smarter than me all the time. So, and they're talking, they're going to say a word, I'm going to write it down. If they say something I don't know what they're talking about, I'm going to ask a question. I'm around a lot of, like, venture capitalists, family offices. You know, the new friends, guys, when y'all get new friends, new money. Like, a lot of people stick with the same friends forever, and it's like we walk past the people that would change our lives every day just because they don't look like us. Yep. So it's like, just imagine if you knew what everybody around you does.
Now, Rance has always plugged me with, hey, this so-and-so like a jeweler, or then they back this, and you say you're about to leave and meet with somebody today. Like,
he was like, yeah.
That's why I didn't say what it was, but I'm saying I'm like, even let's talk about. Well, I kind of want to talk about some more music stuff before we let's talk about Justin Timberlake. What is Rance DNA in Justin Timberlake?
Man,
or the Timberland relationship.
I mean, shout out to Timberland, man. I've been working with Timbo for like the last 6-7 years too. So we real partners. That's my nigga for real. Even in B Club, and I'm part of all that. But I learned so much from Timberland. He's one of the few people that pushes me. Like, only a couple people push me and not make me lazy. It's like Timberland, Fauntleroy, Battle Cat, Just Blaze, Teddy Riley, and Dr. Dre. They're like the only people that when I think I'm done, I'm not. Wow. We gonna do an intro, an outro, a bridge, because they understand the art of the news. Always having, like, if you can have in one hit song 10 conversations, if you create 10 conversations, that's a smash. It could either be in the music, it could be what you're saying, the words. And it's like how many conversations can you have out of one song that the people can have? That's important. That's for the culture.
Give us an example, right? Like what 10 conversations. Give us a song that you've done that may have had those kind of multiple conversations.
It's any line. It could be like boot up. That is a word that everybody has said. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even the first line, feelings, so deep in my feelings. Joel James, there's genius for that. Like, it's certain things to where, like, when you say feelings, so deep in my feelings, first of all, when you say feelings once, it's genius, because we all have said that word feelings. Yeah. Cultural, staying so deep in my feelings. You say it again to where someone actually learned it, and they're going to say feeling It's 2. So you're also training people for conversations.
Science.
Like, yeah, that's Jay-Z, and he's a genius at that, man. All of his lines and we get bored every 8 bars. So it's just as long as you can keep it interesting with the lyrics, melody, the phrase that pays, or the music in the marriage, you won't get bored.
So do you listen to music differently? Like,
oh yeah.
Like and I tell Q this, I listen to music for production first. I don't, I don't care about lyrics, whatever. I mean, I know it's important, melody, whatever, but I go for production first. But it makes me want to turn my volume up to past 10, like I'm on that. But do you listen to like, oh, that's clever how they did the intro, or this note was bent this?
I'm dissecting everything. Like that's one of the things what makes you a good producer. Like I tell some of our students, listen to the 5 best songs from every genre and pick a part that you like and write down why. And that will train you how to become like your own, what do you call it? Like your own Spotify at the end of the day. So if I listen to a song in the 70s, okay, the song in the 70s, they got intros that ain't got nothing to do with the song. So now on my next beat, I'm gonna do an intro and that ain't got nothing to do with the song. Like lean back with it. Like that was Scott Storch was genius for that. That was something that they did in the 70s. They dun 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 dun, and then a whole nother beat. That's something that creates conversation. That gets you set up. That makes somebody want to say, "Hey, let's get up. This is my song." It gives you that 4 seconds to get ready. It's all these things that you got to understand the human psyche when you're making songs.
Yeah, that's
the
crazy.
more you think about the people and your customers, the more money you'll make. Because they're our bosses. I don't listen to labels.
You breaking it down.
I don't listen to none of these niggas. I listen to the people.
Really?
Yes. And if it feels good to me, it'll feel good to somebody else. I just don't lie to myself, though.
You don't lie to yourself.
I try not to.
Mm-hmm.
We do every day, but I try not to. We be lying. I mean, we'll lie and say we're working hard. Yeah. And you're fucking not working hard. You can work harder. You just work 3 hours. Are you tired?
You were on Instagram.
Yeah, you're on Instagram, but you're working hard. Saying you're on Instagram, you're working hard? Nah.
Stop.
We're lying to ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's go to work.
What's the phrase that pays? Because
phrase that pays is like, if you look at Netflix titles, phrase that pays. Anything like songs to where that's the whole point of the song, and that's what you repeat the most, and that's what you care about the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like the phrase that pays, the melody, and then the last thing is the why. The why is one of the most important things of a song, I think. For instance, if we write a song that says, I love you, I love you, I love you, that could be a hit. But if we say, I love you, I love you, I love you, because you bring me to my higher self. Now I'm attracting all the women that understands yoga, higher self. That's what connects with the soul is the why. So if I'm write a rap song and say, I'm in a club with my niggas, right? Cool. That could be a hit because that's a what. But if I say I'm in the club with my niggas because my bitch left me for another bitch, now that's fire because it's going to create conversation. Yeah. Is your words good enough to create conversation?
Right.
Is your why? You got to make your why so for the masses and so bold to where it creates conversation. And some niggas are scared to say, my bitch left me for another bitch.
Yeah, that's a bar. That's a bar. That's a bar. So who's some of your favorite writers that you like producing with? I mean, Fauntleroy, of course.
Fauntleroy is not as unfair advantage. We've been working together forever.
Yes.
So I'm kind of spoiled. But I mean, everybody from 1500, from Alex J. Black, The Camp, Ant Clemens, Pooh Bear. I love working with, Price. I got Angel. It's so many people that's
you just mentioned old girl that wrote for Boot Up.
Boot Up, Joelle James.
You just did a project on her.
She's no brainer. I got a Grammy with her, so she's one of the best.
How many Grammys?
How many? Yeah.
4.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know
I got
all
a bunch
4
of nominations. One for Boot Up, one for Kendrick Lamar's. I did a song called "If These Walls Could Talk."
Yep.
I think we heard of that
I
song.
worked on Maluma's album for Latin album, and then I got a.
You got a Latin Grammy?
Yeah. And then I worked on it's a song called "Say Something." We did with Chris Stapleton and Justin Timberlake. It's a country song, so it's a country Latin. Rap, R&B on these niggas.
Wow.
Let's go back to If These Walls Can Talk. Because if you miss it, you may miss that he's talking what he's talking about. Like, but the moans and the who thought
That's
of those?
Kendrick. He's genius.
Golly.
Shout out to I
was late on that, bro. I think somebody was that you that told me that was a nasty record.
Yeah, because I was driving my kids to school.
They were like,
yeah,
I'm driving my kids to school listening to Kendrick.
Yeah.
And my oldest son's like, why? He's 10. Why is that girl moaning? Why is this moaning?
You got to re-listen.
I was like,
bro, I never paid attention to it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was late on Leah Rock the Boat. Swear. I was like, what? I'm talking about like maybe like recently, bro. Wow. But
It just song bang so hard.
It was like this slapped.
Yeah,
Just slapped.
so good.
I was so happy for like Rapture and them like
For
getting it
real.
on. So let's talk about These Walls. Like, how did that come together? Like, how did you get the call to work
me
on that
and James
project?
was working on for an artist, for a writer, and the crazy thing is, the day before I was at my pop's house, and he always be playing music, and I'd be getting inspiration from him because he could really play piano sometimes. So he always played me what he listening to, and he had some chords that was fire, and I was like, me understanding the art of music, I know how many bars I could do before I get sued, and how many bars I got to make up on my own, so I'll never get sued. Yeah. So there's a song where I was like, all right, I'm gonna steal this so they'll never figure it out, and change the key, change the chord, and then the next day, me and James had a session. We did it, and Terrace came later that day, and I played him the beat. I played him the song. He was like, yo, take those vocals off. Let me get that beat. I'm like, all right, gave it to him. Because I'm gonna give it to Kendrick. So he gave it to Kendrick. He murdered it. Then it just became like a dream team song where we had Thundercat on the damn song. Yeah. And then Terrace got Robert Glasper to do a solo. And then we had, Terrace put like strings and horns, and it just became a Grammy. But it just became a Grammy.
But look how the relationship came full circle. Like Terrace was at.
That's my brother, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I talk to all these people every day still. We politic every day. So
right. What is the most lucrative record you've been a part of? Not without saying to your business, but like, what's the record like? Damn, I keep getting paid off of this.
It all comes at once, man. It's statements.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
No, when you get paid, it's like 5 ways to get paid, but you usually get like statements every.
But it's all the songs in.
And you get all the songs at once, but some makes more than the others. But
like I know John Legend said, which record changed his life? Damn it, I'm bad with titles. About his wife. Damn it. Anyway, it changes.
Yeah. Well, those are like copyright songs. Like there's certain songs that could, that has for sure changed my life. But I don't think I wrote the song that's gonna change. I want to change everyone's life.
Ooh,
that's the song where I'm gonna make the most money,
bro. He's reading these books, and he still hasn't told us what books he's reading. This is what I'm trying to get at, because it's certain people. You remind me of a couple people I know.
Smart people, man. All my friends are smart.
I get it, but come on, man.
No, he stays with a book. Yeah, but Nipsey also stayed with a book also.
Like, I mean, right, what's in my car where I'll never just leave my side is the 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. That's something Big Bob put me in.
You told me about that quite a few times.
Bro, it's the reason why all artists fail, and the reason why most Fortune 500 companies fail and don't even know why. These are the rules. It literally tells you the rules.
Say the book again for it.
The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding.
Usually I will wait until after the episode.
Shout out to Bob, man.
Shout out to Big Bob, man. Brand Engine, the motherfucker.
Brand Engine.
Goat.
Gentle giant, man.
Yeah. But yeah, things like that, just understanding branding. Most people can't be a human brand because it's hard to be a human brand.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Nike, it's going to say Nike, just do it. But if you got a brand, you might change your whole perception just because you say something on Instagram because your girlfriend will make you mad. Now you lose all the trust from your consumers. Now you got to start over. Now it's, you know what I mean? It's so many things to where you really got to understand branding and marketing and humans.
Yeah. I just got the book. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Let's talk about. Let's fast forward to the Academy. Something that you know.
I seen your pop working there.
Oh man, what's
the family? The whole family there.
It's a family business.
That's dope.
So I've been seeing. Can you tell everybody where the Academy is located?
The Academy is in Inglewood. Just imagine a 35,000 square foot facility where it's like the X-Men school for all the tightest people in the world, where it's really the tightest people in the world. To where it started off as a music academy, but now we're working on building our acting, TV, and film academy. We're a coding academy where we're going to be teaching like JavaScript, HTML, C++, Python, JavaScript, all that stuff. And we got a venture capitalist academy where we got billionaires and millionaires teaching financial models, how to build trust from the investors, how to get your valuation up to hundreds of millions off of perception. Just all the shit that no one ever taught us.
Yeah, for sure.
We're really like, this is the place where we're going to be doing weekend classes of cryptocurrency classes, financial literacy classes. Like it's high level shit going on, but it's a school, but then next door is where we work. So we got partnerships with Dolby Atmos. So we got a Dolby Atmos theater. We have a full sound stage. We got 3 major studios with SSL boards, Osberger speakers. We got a whole movie theater in one of our studios, so where people can watch us work and the students can actually see the real what's really going on without bothering us. It's
how long has this been?
Man, we probably got the building maybe like 3.5, 4 years ago. COVID messed us up for a year, so we would have been done by now. So hopefully by like March we'll be done. I was trying to get it done by 1500 day. So 1500 day.
Tell me about 1500 day.
The city gave us our own day.
What?
January 15th. Look it up. It's in the books.
That's Martin Luther King's birthday.
Damn
usually.
right. And then
I was there for that. I was there.
And then January 14th, we just partnered with AEG, and we're going to be doing concerts. Our 1500 day. It's like our own Coachella every year.
Hard.
So we're gonna.
But you guys already started doing something on. You guys did a virtual 1500 show.
Yeah. We did. Yeah, that was for COVID. We couldn't go outside.
But you can't just.
Yeah, we went up. We went up.
Talk about some of those performers.
We had D Smoke pull up. We had Ant Clemens pull up. Eric Bellinger. It was just like, let's rent center stage and just have a show. And we just did a show for fun, and it was tight.
Super tight.
But at this place, this is gonna be the place where you really discover artists' talent. It's the best people in the world from everything. So you'll be able to. It's such a disconnect between tech, fashion, film, music, sports. It's like one place where all the best people are in one place where we can be comfortable and create. Because our whole school is to teach you how to be unemployable. That's all we talk about. You got to learn all the rules. Because the only thing someone can do with me is license my thoughts at this point, or license my life. It's all licensable.
Get out my head.
Yeah, no, we don't. We're not slaves.
Had these kind of conversations all the
we
time,
don't do
bro.
the slave thing. We don't walk in with 100% and walk out with 20. We're not those niggas. But we're teaching how to protect your ownership, man. And we're gonna be the bridge where it's gonna turn into the Shark Tank, where we're literally anybody with good ideas that's south of the 10 can come and have a great idea and meet somebody that's a venture capitalist, and we're basically bridging the gap between great ideas and the venture capitalist world, but their models are different. So we're kind of changing the models of how to protect our people.
That's why I was trying to get.
You got to see it. You should come hang out with me.
I was trying to get Q to come and see it before you had to stop.
I'm conflicted. I'm gonna be real. This is for you guys, but it's kind of like a personal session as well. You said one thing where you were like, "Yo, it's our responsibility to stay in our community and do our thing," right? Yeah. It's just tough because personally, for me, I'm from Philly, but everybody from Philly that's big, they here.
They move out.
Yeah.
They here, right? So it's kind of tough where you are from here and you're able to build, and Fuzz, you're from here, y'all able to connect and build this ecosystem. And like you said, south of the 10, if you grew up like how you grew up, you're giving them inspiration. They can see how you work. Mm-hmm. And LA ain't softer than Philly, and Philly ain't, harder than LA. But for you to be able to do that in your hometown, that's what I'm like, man.
Bro, hood niggas are the smartest niggas ever. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a quote.
I know.
I got so many gangbanger friends that's smarter than me, bro. They just need opportunity.
Shout out to Robin Hood.
Shout out to the loc. First of all, that's my loc right there. I can't even. Robin Hood is probably one of the smartest, richest,
genuine
niggas that you gotta respect. Just put it like that.
Who's Robin Hood?
Robin Hood. That's one of my brothers grew up with. He was one of the people at a time when we lost our studio at the Expedition spot when we used to have a studio in the jungles.
Right.
And we lost our spot, and Robin Hood let me go there on the block and
use the studio.
work and let all James and Brody. That's how he met everybody. I was bringing everybody to Hood, and he opened the door. At that time, Robin Hood was the engineer and producer. They was wearing him out.
Really
wearing him out. But that's
Such
like
a good dude.
But then he realized that he ended up managing Brody and doing other type of businesses, and now he's killing it. I could literally say I got some millionaire friends that's really from LA. That's really with this LA shit.
That's crazy.
And it just should inspire people. Just because if we can do it, he could do it. We could, it's possible.
So what do you do you had your original studios in Inglewood? He has another spot in Inglewood that everybody knows about, like we were talking about with Nipsey was there. Do you keep that as like a hub also?
That's
while
home
you got
base. That's my secret. That's what we
sauce.
Still there. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
You don't think you'll ever get rid of that?
Nah, I don't want to. It's gonna turn into like the Motown Museum or something. Because before we even got there, that was Cavi's studio. So Cavi had background. So Aaliyah and all them niggas was there every day.
Yeah,
so it was when Cavi left. He was literally outside moving out, and I got off tour and I was driving past on Centinela, and they were moving out. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he like, yo, I'm leaving. Like, you want it? And I went home. Talked to my mother, my daddy was like, "Yo, let me get 10,000." I got 10,000, and I'm gonna run it back. And
that's how you got that studio.
Yeah, gave it to him on the spot, bro.
Wow,
we've been there ever since.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was God. Shout out to my nigga Cavi too.
So what are you working on now, Rance? Like, what do you?
You and like I've been kind of overbooking myself. Like the last, like the day before yesterday, we literally had a session with. In one studio at Record Plant. I had Ron Isley in one room.
I seen you on Instagram with him.
Then I had Corday in another room. Then I had Gunner. We're doing a whole live show with Gunner.
That's
gonna
killer.
be fire.
Yeah.
Early October with us doing like Unplugged with him. And then some movie shit in another room. So it's like, thank God I got a crew and
your team is
people.
deep.
Yeah.
So you just bouncing from room to room.
Room to room. Yeah, and the fact that I understand the human behavior part, it's easy for me to be like, too many words. Nope, I'm bored at this 8 bars. You got to add something there. Just to keep, I'm just trying to keep the human's attention while everybody else is writing songs.
Buzz, I can't wait to talk to this dude off the mic because there's some stuff he's not telling us on the mic. I know it. I don't
have secrets, man. I'm not stingy.
He does not have secrets, but he's not saying everything for us.
No, but he's telling us. Like,
yeah.
It's different. That's what
you gotta come see it. Like you gotta come see the spot. It's different.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's layers. So like, not only is he a music head, but like he has these investment partners. He's really cool with. They're friends of his.
Vegas too, Resort World. We just partnered with Resort World. You know about that?
Is that the Avila brothers involved in it too?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's my brother. So we got.
All right, because they told me about it. And
yeah.
All right, cool.
I couldn't do it without them. They helping us out a lot with the brand partnerships and just putting this together. But
so the Avila brothers are producers. You know them from they work with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Okay.
Usher.
Yeah, they're like the coldest Latinos in the business.
They black,
bro.
but they're Latinos.
The coldest.
Yeah,
soul.
So you doing?
They the one that gave us our tickets for Usher.
I love them.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm saying, duh, you know him.
Yeah. So basically, what we did was we partnered with Resort World. They just spent like $4.3 billion on this hotel. It's across the street from the Wynn. There is no more Palm Studios no more, and so
that's where I met Michael Jackson at.
Yep. So now we got the only studio on the Strip. So we built the studio in the Resort World. We also have the only high-end jewelry store, Charles True, my partners.
He introduced me to him in Newport Beach.
We got the only high-end jewelry store in the Resort World, and right next door, James designed. It's a 5,000 square foot facility, but James designed the facility to look like a futuristic academy, to where it's going to be like. Where people do TED Talks, and it's basically a place where all the rich people could talk and give seminars, and you could just rent the spot out. But next door is our studio, and right downstairs is our jewelry store. But then we got the observation room, to where
same concept.
All the high rollers can literally pay us and watch us work, where we can't hear or see them. And we got a button that turns into elevator music and fog when we don't want to hear them or see. It's some other shit. Resort World, come check it out. Actually,
so when is that gonna?
I think the jewelry store opens on the 25th of this month.
Yeah, we gotta go then.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
What is your daily routine? Do you have a routine?
Yeah, I mean, for my personal self, you know, but like it's to the point now. Like I used to meditate early. I still do that, but I didn't practice so much. I could meditate talking to a nigga. If a nigga getting on my nerves, I could just tune him out and just be thanking God the whole time.
Really?
Yes.
And be in conversation.
And be in conversation and still be in tune and be thanking God for everything.
That's key for you.
Yeah, God, everything.
Yeah,
everything is because of God. Period. I don't care what you say.
I'm done, Fuzz. I have nothing. I'm shocked. I'm amazed. I'm thankful that you stopped by.
Thank y'all, man.
Very inspiring.
His energy is just super dope, bro.
That's why I stay in touch with.
That's my dog. This the real connector, man.
No, but me and Rance have a conversation about. I was going to say halftime is not about music. We're just
we're really friends.
Checking in.
Yeah. Real shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, Fuzz.
Oh, we good. Make sure you check out the Academy. If anybody want to,
Maybe we got time.
Maybe today. Maybe later on
today. If you come today, you might meet this money I'm about to
Well, guess what? We got to go because we got to get to the money. But first, we got to make sure that we meditate when we looking at you bitch ass niggas. B-A-N. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Rance, thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
That's all I love, man.
Pleasure meeting you, man. FAQ Podcast, please subscribe. FAQ Podcast, subscribe, comment, share, like. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. FAQ Podcast, Fuzzy and Quincy.
Yep.
We will see you next time right here.